Another company where the CEO is increasingly in the hot seat happens to be none other than Disney. Shares of Disney very much in focus today after Nelson Peltz, who's an activist investor, and he's out there battling Bob Iger because he wants the new yet old CEO. Bob was the original CEO, and he came back to quote unquote save the company from Bob Chapek. Bob Iger is getting a showdown here with Nelson Peltz, who is a billionaire. He runs something called Trian Fund, and he's looking at Disney saying, hey, you know what? I think I see a little opportunity here. I see opportunity because this company, which used to trade at $200 a share, is now trading around $100 a share. And it's not working. Whatever they're selling, nobody's buying. Think about all the movie flops. Heck, they've had to pull the live Snow White or delay it after some $300 reported million was spent on this. That was the Snow White with the woman from West Side Story, Rachel Zegler, who had a bunch of really terrible things to say about Snow White and the entire story before the whole thing got pulled. Anyway, Nelson's like, what the heck is going on? Why can't they just make good entertainment? And why can't they get their act together? Why can't they actually have theme parks that don't keep you in line for hours and hours and hours and hours? It's an issue right now. Gosh, there was just a story about the airports in Orlando, Florida, getting swamped with spring breakers. Check this out. Headline in the Daily Mail. Orlando Airport issues warning for Disney travelers to arrive 3 hours early as spring break visitors overwhelm the city. Stunning videos show massive crowds at Disney World. There are massive crowds. I mean, check this video out. This came to us on social media, and it's insane. Like, there are so many people there. It is so crowded. You got to wait like 81 minutes just to ride Space Mountain. Who needs it? I mean, they're charging you $160, $180. The prices change. They float depending on demand. I imagine the prices are even higher right now because so many people are going to Disney at this particular time. And the way it works is the more people that want to go, the higher the prices. So everybody's flooding the theme park. They're waiting forever in lines. They don't come out with any decent movies. And an activist investor like Nelson Peltz, who's more conservative than he is liberal, his daughter's married to David Beckham and Victoria Beckham's son, frame of reference from an entertainment culture perspective. Anyway, he just did the unthinkable. Oh my gosh, Nelson, you are in so much trouble with Disney right now because you're not supposed to say what you said. He's saying some rather non-PC stuff. You see, he's saying, I guess, what a lot of people are thinking, which is, why do I have to be preached to every single time I go to see a Disney movie? It makes me really not want to go and see them anymore. He did an interview with the FT, the Financial Times out of London, and this thing came out on Friday, and now Disney is riding it as much as they can all the way to the bank, which I don't know is they're going to have that much mileage on. You see, he commented on some of these recent films, saying things like, why do I need an all-black cast? Or, why do I have to have a Marvel movie that's all women? Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Right? And here's the quote from the FT and recycled by Reuters saying, why do I need an all-black cast? You might be referring there to the Black Panther movie. Look, these are the things that you're not supposed to say. I think he was having this lunch with the reporter. I read the article. He was drinking a glass of wine. He pointed out that he normally just drinks Pepsi or a softie, and he decided to go with the wine, and he started blurting out what perhaps a lot of people are actually thinking. Like, why do I have to sit here and have a cast that's all women or all black or all this or all that? Why can't I just watch the classics with the cast of characters that we've always seen? And Disney's response would be, oh, we're innovating, we're diverse. I mean, that works until it doesn't work. I mean, when your customer base no longer wants to go to the movies and see what you're offering because you're more obsessed with diversity than you are the actual content, then you got yourself a little problem. And that does explain, in part, why this share price has gone all the way from $200 just, 3.5 years ago to $100 today. I mean, it kind of feels like the US economy. You get obsessed with the wrong stuff, and suddenly you're in deep you know what. So now Disney is like, haha, we got him. We've showed everybody how clueless this guy is, how he is not woke enough to be on our board. But at the same time, maybe that not woke enough is exactly what you need on your board. When I talk about diversity, and I love diversity, but when I talk about diversity, I don't mean just, okay, we need somebody who's this, that, and the other. I mean, you need people from different viewpoints so you can have a healthy intellectual debate about what it is that you're going to bring forward for programming. Nelson Peltz brings up some good points. Do we always have to be indoctrinating people when they go to the movies? He also points out the obvious, which is that Bob Iger is getting kind of old and they need to have a game plan in place. Let me tell you, they never want to talk about that at Disney. I've interviewed Iger many times and always enjoyed talking to him. But I remember the one sort of hot button, sticky issue that the PR people would call you about and they never wanted you to talk about was his retirement. He never wanted to talk about a succession plan. I think Nelson knows that that's a little bit of a weak, or shall we say, sore spot, certainly a weak spot for the company. You got to have a succession plan because the Bob Chapek stuff didn't go so well. So they have nobody in place to take over for Bob Iger. Nelson Peltz is like, we got to fix that. And by the way, while we're at it, can we stop with the sequels? Like, don't you guys have anything new? Anything new in the pipeline? I mean, how many Frozens can you do? How many Star Wars can you do? Star Wars is a great franchise. I get it. But will it still be when you're so obsessed with wokeness that you have to go and you hire the this, that, and the other director? The one that says, oh, I enjoy making men uncomfortable. And then, I mean, look, Disney, you do you. Good luck with it. As an investor, I'd be pretty skeptical unless Nelson can get in there and turn things around because the wokeness has taken over. I'll tell you, this happens throughout our country, our society, and it's happening all over Wall Street right now. It's a big part of why I started 76 Research with my good friend Rob, who's managed billions for many years, 25 years on Wall Street. And both of us are looking at this going, this is insane. Like, people are not making the right choices for the best opportunities for the future. And we're all about your future, long-term future. Because, Uncle Joe or Uncle Sam is not going to be there. And you got massive inflation that everyone's still dealing with, and I expect will continue to deal with for the foreseeable future, no matter what the Fed says. And so you want to make sure that you're set up. You want to make sure that you have good long-term holdings. And I'll tell you, the time is now. The time is actually yesterday or 10 years ago or whenever. I say this even to new parents. Make sure the first thing you do is you set up some kind of fund. A 529K plan, for example, for your kids so that you're going to be able to pay for college should they want that someday. But make sure you're also taking care of yourself. And so this is a big part of what Rob and I are trying to do at 76research.com. We have model portfolios there based on sort of your appetite for risk and what you're trying to invest in. We have what's called the 76 report, which is more of a macro overall look at things, does include from time to time some of our picks that are in the model portfolios, 10 to 15 picks in each of those portfolios. But listen, you got to actually be doing your research because you can't rely on your local broker. You can't rely on Uncle Sam. And you've got to be, in my estimation, a little bit of your own champion when it comes to this. And you want to hold good quality stocks for a really long time. That is how you create wealth. It just is. Again, it's not rocket science. I mean, it's kind of rocket science in that you've got to be your own advocate, and that can be hard sometimes. I get it. But we're here with you to help you get the best research that's free of the conflicts of Wall Street and wokeism and government and institutional bias and the rest of it. So go check out 76research.com. You know what I am going to do? I am going to put that in the notes for you because if you haven't done it, you should do it in my chat. 76research.com. because we don't want you to make mistakes like investors have made with Disney over the last couple of years. I mean, look, if we look at it and we think there's new opportunity and Nelson Peltz is making the right kinds of decisions, et cetera, we will tell you. But I'll tell you this, we will always tell you. We're going to be very, very frank. We are very, very frank. We're very fair. And we want our only incentive is for you to do well. Think about that. We're not like, the brokerage institution that's getting a cut of this, that, and the other. Our only incentive is to provide you the best quality research to make sure you have the best portfolio for the future.